Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good afternoon. My name is Nur Afika binti Muhammad Shakil and I'm going to walk you through today's formal contract review session. This session is to review the contract prepared by Group Micto. Joining us on the call are our developer team and our review team. May I ask you to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Zahida. I'm a part of the developer team.
Hello, my name is Nurul Naswa. I'm part of the developer team.
Hi, my name is Rishi Humaira. I'm from review team.
Hi, my name is Nur Shafika and I'm from review team.
Firstly, I would like to begin by thanking all of you for making time to participate. With your permission, I'd like to record this call. If you need a break or to stop at any time, please let me know. So during this review session, the developers team will start by presenting their contract and later on the review team will speak out their opinion on the contract. Without further ado, we will turn the time over to the developer team to present the contract.
The first content of the contract is developers' duties. Under developers' duties, the developer shall complete the development of the software with the milestone agreed by both sides. The developer shall provide the client assistance in any issues relating to the operation of the software, free charge for 96 hours and charge at a rate of 100 ringgit Malaysia per hour for assistance beyond that. The client not obligated to provide assistance to the developer. The client may terminate this software development within 1 month notice of any matter breach. The developer must provide 1 week of training on the operation of the software if requested by the client.
Next, we move on to the delivery. The contract mentioned that the client shall provide the developer a written notice within 14 days of delivery date if it meets the specification and within 1 month if the software does not meet the specification.
Under compensation, the client shall pay the company at the rate per hour, hourly rate in regards of the service, with a maximum total fee for all work under the software development contract. Invoices will be provided once every pay period for work completed by the developer.
Number 4, intellectual property rights. Both parties accept and agree that all intellectual property rights, including copyright and trademark, held by the client.
Number 5, change in specification. The client may demand changes of the specification and the developer will attempt to execute mentioned change with no cost extra and postponing of the delivery of software. The client may pull out the proposed change if it causes deferral and extra cost charged to the software. Next point is confidentiality. The developer must not reveal the details and information of the software and the client to any third party. Make copies of any confidential information for personal use and make benefits other than solely for client only.
Number 7 talks about developer warranties. The contract mentioned that development and delivery of the software under this contract do not seem to be in infringement of the other contract between developer and other party. The software won't disrupt the property rights of other party. The software shall operate accordingly to the specification after the delivery date, and if there is a breakdown or inconsistency of specification that occur within that point, the developer shall take reasonable steps to amend the problem and indemnify as well as holding the client harmless against any violations, changes, damages, and losses.
Under indemnification, the contract states the developer consent to indemnify and defend the client against all lawsuits and costs of referring to the software, including legitimate legal fees due to the developer's violation of the intellectual right of any third party regarding the terms and policies.
Number 9, no modification unless in writing mentioned about no modification of this contract shall be valid unless in writing and agreed upon both parties. And lastly, applicable law. The contract mentioned that this software development contract shall be governed by and constructed in accordance with the laws and jurisdiction of the state of Selangor.
Okay, great. We are done with the contract presentation. So with that, we will go ahead for the review team to review the contract. Review team, can we know your thoughts about this contract?
Okay, so for the first point, which is the developer's duty, I think there is no problem. And as you can see at the point number 2, it stated that the developer will charge the client at a rate of 100 ringgit Malaysia per hour for any assistance after the 96 hours of free charge assisting the client. And I think that it is a reasonable fee for the client to pay to the developer.
Yes, I agree, but there's no client duties mentioned in this content. So I think they should include that in this point so that the clients know their contribution in develop the project.
Okay, on the second point, which is delivery, well, I agree with the duration of notifying the developer if the software meets the specification within 14 days of delivery date, if does, and within 1 month if it doesn't. But unfortunately, the exact date of delivery is not included here.
That's true. Important dates such as commencement of employment, project completion, and payment due should be included. It is also better to include the project milestone a better view of how the project is constructed. The next point in this contract is compensation. I think incorrect term has been used. Instead of using compensation, they should use term payment as it is more suitable and understandable for the client. And in this part, they explain to the detail of the compensation like the amount of cost, budget, and also invoice.
I agree with that, and also I think they can include details of payment as well on this contract, because if the customer missed the payment or refuse to pay, a contract will give you a legal leverage to collect the payment. So I think it is important to state payment on the contract.
For the number 4, I agree because it stated that both developer and clients can agree that all intellectual property rights in the software will be held by the client.
Yeah, I also agree with that. And for the next point, which is change in specification, problem on this point, and there's nothing to discuss here.
Yes, I agree. And I also agree with the point stated in the contract about the confidentiality, where the developer must not reveal about the business of the client and the details regarding the software to any third party.
Yes, and the contract can also mention about when the contract ends. The developer shall return or destroy all confidential information regarding the client and confirm that it has been done so. Because if you did not state in this contract, the developer can misuse the confidential information illegally. So to avoid things from happen, you need to state this statement on the contract.
That's for the content number 7, which is developer guarantees. For point number 1, the statement is quite confusing and I don't understand what the developer tried to tell about, as the statement is a little bit unclear. They should use the correct sentence structure because incorrect and inaccurate sentence structure may lead to misinformation and misinterpretation to clients.
Okay, in addition, I think I did not agree on the third point. As you can see, if there is any unexpected things happen after the software is launched, the developer team should not pay any compensate because they already do the testing with the client and both parties already agree with it. So in my opinion, I think it is better if the developer tries to fix the problem and did not need to pay any compensation.
I think both of us can agree with content number 8 and 9.
Yeah, content number 10 as well.
Alright, before we wrap up this review session, I think we can conclude that the overall content of the contract is okay, but there are several mistakes such as inaccurate terms used and important information were not included. Maybe the contract will be more applicable after being modified as suggested. Thank you, review team, for the commentaries and suggestions given. Also, thank you to the developer team for a great job presenting this contract. I hope all of you enjoy this review session. Thank you for your time and participation.